Was goody YTBC? Was good fight fans, boxing heads around the world? B Marsh with another boxing video. So this is my breakdown and prediction for the WBO and WBC Unification fight on HBO pay-per-view coming up this weekend. You know what I'm saying? The WBC champion Victor the Iceman Postal versus WBO light welterweight champion Terrance Bud Crawford, you know what I mean? So this is a good matchup, ladies and gents, man. This is a good matchup between two of the best, two of the very best at 140 pounds, you know what I mean? The man Viktor Postal, of course, he's been a champion since last year when he beat as an underdog, he beat Lucas Matisse, you know what I'm saying? That was a real good fight for the man Viktor Postal, you know what I'm saying? Fighting the elite guy who arguably people thought was still the best 140 pounder in the division. And he got him out of there in the ninth round with a TKO, you know what I'm saying? He stopped that man. Basically a knockout, you know what I mean? The man ain't get up off the ground after he took his 10 count, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely a knockout. You know what I'm saying? The man, Viktor Postal, man, he's been on my radar ever since I seen him on HBO when he fought Selçuk Aydin. You know what I mean? The man fought Selçuk Aydin and he knocked him out in spectacular fashion. And you know, I really like the man's skills, man. He got a vicious jab, you know what I'm saying? He's a tall guy, you know what I mean? He's about 5'11 with a 73-inch reach, you know what I mean? And the man Viktor Postal, you know, the man, what he did to Lucas Matisse, you know, a lot of people thought Victor Matisse was still the man in the division, you know what I mean? The machine. And, you know, since Danny Garcia departed from the division, that belt was vacant and they were fighting for it. And the man Viktor Postal definitely came in there and upset the apple cart, you know what I mean? The man Viktor Postal, man, he's a good fighter, but the man Terrance Bud Crawford is a special fighter in my opinion, you know what I mean? I think he's a guy who's on the verge of stardom. He's a guy, man, who can build his career right now and build himself into a Hall of Fame type caliber fighter, you know what I mean? A Hall of Fame caliber player, maybe an all-time great, you know what I'm saying? I really rate the man Bud Crawford, you know? He hasn't fought too many great fighters, you know what I'm saying? But tonight is a step-up fight, you know what I'm saying? Definitely his biggest step-up fight of his career. And it's a pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's stepping into that pay-per-view realm where, you know, people are going to pay to watch him fight because he got some excellent skills, man. You know, the man Bud Crawford is the best switch hitter in boxing, you know what I mean? The man Terrance Crawford, when he switches to southpaw, that's when, to me, in my opinion, he's very dangerous. I haven't seen no opponent who's figured him out when he switched stances. You know what I'm saying? When he switched stances is when he causes problems and he definitely confuses the opponent. You know what I mean? He did that with Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? I had Terrance Crawford losing the first 3, maybe 4 rounds in the fight with Gamboa until he switched his stance, you know what I'm saying? The man, you know, he's a Deflin hooker too, man. He got a great hook. The man Terrance Crawford hook is on point, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be trading with that man. And whenever he's throwing his hooks, he's definitely in get him out of here mode, you know what I'm saying? He got vicious straight or straight right hands or the left lead hand, whichever stance he's in. You know what I'm saying? But I think he's definitely a better fighter when he switches to southpaw, you know what I'm saying? Because now his right hand is the jab, you know what I'm saying? And he's controlling it with this strong hand. And he definitely got power in both hands, you know what I'm saying? He got power in both hands to knock any opponent down, you know, with either hand. You check it? So the man Viktor Postal is going to be the taller fighter in this fight, you know what I'm saying? And the man Terrance Bud Crawford, you know, he's a guy in his last fight he fought against, what's his name? Henry Hank Lundy. You know what I mean? And Henry Hank Lundy is a smaller guy, but he's definitely had more fights at 140 than did Bud Crawford, you know what I mean? And the man, that's a common opponent that they have. Terrance Crawford and what's his name, Viktor Postal. That's a common opponent they have. You know what I'm saying? When the man Henry Hank Lundy fought the man Viktor Postal. Man, he gave him a tough and difficult fight. You know what I'm saying? The man was basically, I could say for the most part, man, it was a good fight. But I had Hank Lundy. It was a close fight. I had Viktor Postal winning, but my scorecard was a lot closer than what they had initially gave the man. You know what I'm saying? I had the fight about 7-5. You know what I mean? And Hank Lundy was giving the man some problems in there. And you see what Bud Crawford did to Hank Lundy, you know what I mean? He disposed of the man, you know what I'm saying? He made easy work of him. So I think the keys to victory for the man, Viktor Postal, I think the man, Viktor Postal, is going to have to use his jab. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to use his jab. And he's a good puncher in close quarters, you know what I mean? For a tall guy, he has excellent reflexes as far as throwing them hands like in close quarters when the guy's up close to him. He got a vicious uppercut. You know what I'm saying? He even caught the man Lucas Matisse when he caught him. He caught him with the right hand. You know what I'm saying? From close quarters. You know what I mean? A right hand, and he followed up with the left. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one that damaged Lucas Matisse's eye. So, I think the man, it's going to be a battle of the jab. Which guy's going to have the better jab? You know what I'm saying? And I think both guys have great jabs. But I think the man, Bud Crawford, has more tools in his arsenal. You know what I mean? The man, Bud Crawford, like I said, he's a good switch hitter. He definitely has better hooks. He's a better hooker than the man, Viktor Postal, you know. As far as footwork is concerned, they both have good footwork, you know what I mean? The man, Viktor Postal, at times, he's not what I'd say call a slick boxer. Like the man, what's his name? What's that guy's name? Pirog. Remember Dmitry Pirog? That was a slick fighter, you know what I'm saying? He was a guy who could cut off the ring, and he could, you check it, the man definitely know how to move around in the ring, you know what I'm saying? Viktor Postal still is a typical European fighter as far as his straight up stand up style, you know what I mean? When he's straight up, but his length is how basically he controls his opponents. You see there how he's punching the man Lucas Matisse in close quarters, so that's one thing Bud better be careful for, you know what I mean? Because any of those punches from close quarters could catch you, you know what I'm saying? You can get caught right on the chin, and it's a punch you won't even see, you know what I mean? So the man, Viktor Postal, I think he's going to have to use his jab, you know what I mean? He's going to have to also go on the inside. And the man, what's his name, Bud Crawford, I think he's going to have to also fight at range at times, you know what I mean? And he's going to have to mix it up, you know what I'm saying? But I think when he goes to his southpaw, I think that's when the fight's going to turn. And I think he's going to be catching the man, Viktor Postal with all kind of punches from different angles, you know what I mean? I see the man, Bud Crawford, actually taking this fight to the I see him stopping the man, Viktor Postal, probably in the 11th round. You know what I'm saying? I think the man, Viktor Postal, I don't think he has enough power to keep the man off of him. You know what I mean? When the man Bud Crawford goes into take no prisoners mode, you know what I mean? Them fellas is unstoppable, and that's basically how he's been getting rid of his opponents. Only guy that he hasn't stopped ever since he's been since been a major player on HBO. Ever since he's been on HBO, he stopped everybody except what's that guy's name? Beltran, you know what I mean? Ray Beltran, you know what I'm saying? That's the only guy that the man Terrance Crawford hasn't stopped. So he's been on a rampage, you know what I mean? And both of these guys are 28-0, you know what I'm saying? But the man Bud has 20 knockouts, but Viktor Postal has only 12, you know what I'm saying? The man Thierry Jean was also a guy who was a good fighter, He's a guy who had a longer reach than the man Terrance Crawford, you know what I'm saying? So the man Terrance Crawford is a guy who's fought in guys with longer reach. He's even fought in bigger guys, guys like Breeders Prescott, you know what I'm saying? Even Thomas Delorme, you know what I mean, was a bigger guy than than Bud Crawford. You know what I mean? So I think this fight right here is gonna be a good fight. You know, I think I like both of these guys. Believe me, you know, and I give the man Viktor Postal credit for taking this fight right after fighting what's his name, Lucas Matisse. You know, you would have thought he would have took easy fights. You know what I'm saying? But the man you would have thought he would take easy fights and avoid Terrance Crawford, or maybe try to sharpen up his skills before the unification fight. But nah, he's going straight into it in his first fight right after getting that belt, fighting Lucas Matisse. So I think it's gonna be a good fight. I see the man Bud Crawford when he switches to southpaw. He might lose the first few rounds, maybe the first three. I think he's gonna be figuring the man out, you know what I'm saying? And when he gets in a comfort zone, I see the man Bud Crawford sealing the deal and stopping the man Viktor Postal, you know what I mean? And I know the man Bud Crawford, his best win right now up to this date is the Gamboa fight, and Gamboa was a featherweight coming up to fight at lightweight, you know what I'm saying? You check it, and the first man, Terrance Crawford, is the first man to beat the Yuriokis Gamboa, and that was a good win. And the man Gamboa was giving Terrance Crawford work in the first 4 rounds, but you see now the man adjusted, and Terrance Crawford adjusted, and he got on a roll and started knocking this man out, knocking him down numerous times. You know what I mean? So that's my prediction and breakdown, man. If Viktor Postal could throw the jab and throw combination punches, you know what I'm saying, and basically keep Bud Crawford off of him, you know what I'm saying, with punches and good timing. That's the only way I see him winning this fight. You know what I mean? But I don't think he has enough power to keep Terrance Crawford off of him. And I think Terrance Crawford might just have the better jab, you know what I'm saying? I think the battle of the jab, whoever has the best jab will win the fight. And I think Terrance Crawford definitely has a better jab. And one thing Terrance Crawford doesn't he's not a guy who throws who clinches, you know what I mean? But who clinches, but the man what's his name? Viktor Postal is a guy who likes to clinch a lot too, you know what I mean? He's a guy who likes to punch and then hold. So, I don't think he's going to be able to do that with Bud Crawford, and I got Bud Crawford winning this by 11th round TKO. So let me know what you guys think about this fight. Who's going to win? Will it be Bud Crawford? Who's going to be the new unified champ? You know what I'm saying? This fight is at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, HBO pay-per-view. Great fight, one of the best fights that could be made in boxing, and may the best man win, you know what I'm saying? Both guys, I like both guys, but unfortunately, unless there's a draw, somebody's going to be going home with 2 belts and somebody's going to be going home with none, you know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think about this fight in the comment section. And if you like the video, hit that thumbs up and please subscribe. B Marsh Boxing, Bud by TKO, 11th round. Peace.